Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Bespoke Growth Series. If you listen to the trailer, you know this podcast started as something I originally wanted to create for our team here at Bespoke Hair. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized these conversations are actually relevant to stylists everywhere, especially cosmetology students and newer stylists who are trying to figure out what it really takes to build a long term career in this industry. So, today, I want to talk about something I've been reflecting on a lot over the last year. What actually creates success in this industry? Not just being busy, not just being talented, but building something that turns into a stable long term career. Because the truth is, talent alone doesn't create stability. Skill alone doesn't create confidence, and time alone does not automatically turn someone into a leader. What actually creates those things is structure. And that realization is what inspired me to start building a more intentional framework for stylist growth inside of our salon. Not because anything was wrong, but because as a salon grows, it becomes more and more important that people understand what growth actually looks like. Without structure, people drift. You work hard, you show up, you take clients, you try to improve, but you're not always sure what you're building towards. And that uncertainty is one of the biggest reasons stylists become frustrated in this industry. So, the goal of what we're building at Bespoke is clarity, clarity around growth, clarity around expectations, clarity around leadership, and clarity around the kind of career someone can build inside a salon environment. Now, something I want to talk about for a minute is the first year behind the chair, because honestly, it's uncomfortable and it's supposed to be. There will be moments where you feel unsure, moments where asking for help feels vulnerable, and moments where you might feel frustrated because you don't yet have the tools to perform every service with complete confidence. That's normal. What's not always normal in salons is having leadership that stays involved during that stage of growth. In many environments, independence is given very early, and that can feel exciting at first. But independence without guidance doesn't necessarily create confidence. Sometimes it just creates pressure. Confidence is built differently. It comes from repetition, from feedback, from correction, from trying things, making mistakes, learning from them, and continuing to improve. And that process really never stops. Freddie and I are still practicing every day. We practice patience, we practice leadership, we practice professionalism, and of course, we practice our craft. Serving guests is only one part of what it takes to run a salon. And that's another reason we're building this framework, because everyone working in a salon plays a role in how that business functions. You're not just showing up to perform services. You're part of a system, a team, and a brand. And part of that system is mentorship. Mentorship isn't about criticism, it's about collaboration. It's about sharing experience. And it's about shortening the learning curve that every stylist goes through. Because none of us really grow in isolation. We grow through guidance, collaboration, and shared experience. And that's exactly what this series is about.